Hello crafters, welcome to Creator Time with G and my latest design team video from MemoMadeIt.com. I'm going to be doing a 5x7 card with you today. I have a 5x7 black card base. I have all my inserts cut and my inlays cut. All of the measurements will be on my blog post, which will be on MemoMadeIt.com. So I've got all those cut, and I've also got one for the inside of my card. Decided to use kind of these three because I think these three stamp sets from Mei Made It, and you can see the evolution of Mei's design here. This is one of the impressions, was one of the things she called them many moons ago, but you can see the evolution there. And I think these sets go really well together. They're all kind of food themed. This is one of Mei's latest sets. It's the ginger thread. So we're going to be using some of the elements from there, some of the elements from this one. I don't think I'm going to be using anything from here, but you really could, because it's a really, as I say, these really work well together. So if you are someone who bakes a lot for Christmas presents or any time of the year, I recommend that these three sets are bought together for your stash, because they really do go hand in hand. So I'm going to work on my white inlay here. Now, as you can see, it's been cut in a way where I can have it separated. Now we will get to that, and the measurements will all be listed in my blog post. But I'm going to do some stamping on this inlay here. I do need to cut this one more time, but as I say, we'll get to that. I've got all of my images kind of double mounted. So I'm going to use the Poppy Red, which is the Nuvo Hybrid, and I'm going to create my own designer paper. Well, that didn't come out very well. That's my fault. Too eager to pick it up. I'm probably going to be using lots of red, greens, and maybe some blacks as well. So over now to the Safari Green. Because red, green and black seem to lend themselves to Christmas quite nicely. Particularly red and green. So like I said, I've double mounted a lot of these my blocks here. Going on and off the page. And let's go to Memento for the black. Okay, so that's all my stamping done on that particular piece of paper. Now I do need to cut these down slightly, and what I'm going to do is from the shorter edge, I'm going to cut them down. I'm only going to cut them down by about I'm probably going to take, let me just get my cheat from my phone so I can give you the right measurements. But I'm going to cut an eighth of an inch off, but just do what feels better for you. And I need to do the same with my black inserts too. Glue that down using the art glitter glue. I'm going to put my red insert. Now this is the same size as my card base, so this is just 5x7 on that card base. making sure you've got an equal amount of the red showing. Now I really wanted more of that showing, so before that, oh no, it's already set, crafters, but I did want more of that to show. I wanted more of the red inlay to show, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm going to bring over some cardstock and we will make this work. So do I want to put a black banner across with a red inlay and a white inlay all the way across? That could work. Let me just cut my pieces, crafters. What I wanted, I'll tell you what, I wanted about an inch gap in between for me to stamp my sentiment. That hasn't happened, so I could scrap it and start again and bring you the card with the correct measurements. Because what I should, instead of taking it from the top, I should have taken it from here. Okay, I'm going to finish this card off with you, but I am going to carry on once I finish this card and bring you the card that I envisioned. I just got my measurements wrong, so the measurements you will find on the blog post will be relevant to the correct card, not this card that I'm having to doctor in a way to make it look somewhat, you know, worthy of being sent out. Okay, and I'm going to put that across here. I'm just putting some glue on my card base. I'm going to cut off the excess. And we're going to stamp the sentiment from Meme's new stamp set, the Ginger Thread. And we're going to stamp the sentiment, the best holidays memories are homemade. So the best holiday memories are homemade. And we're going to put that there. So even though I made a mistake, I actually really like the way this card turned out. And I'm going to get hold of some gems. I want a few gems on this card, I think. I'm going to put some red gems. Just 1, 2, 3, and I will use my art glitter glue to secure these onto the card. So that's that. So what I'm going to do now, crafters, I'm going to continue on with the video. It's not finished here, and I'm going to bring you the card with the correct layout. So let me get all that set and I'll be right back. Okay, crafters, round 2. Now this one I've done, like I said, I've tried to iron out the creases. Instead of cutting my paper then stamping, I've stamped my images, so then when my paper is cut apart it looks like they flow on, where with this one some of the images didn't match up with the images down here. So I'm going to cut this now. Now what I will tell you, and when I cut it, I have measured down from this top right hand corner, I have measured down 1 inch and I got my 5/8, and the bottom I have measured up 1 inch and 1/8. Now I'm going to connect those with a very faint line. So I need to find my lines and I need to connect those. I'm just going to draw a very, very faint line. Probably won't be able to see it on camera. And then I'm going to cut that using my trimmer. So I now need to put my line on this line we have on our trimmers. So you might not be able to see it, but I have a very, very faint line here, and now I need to line that up on this line that we have on our trimmer, and then I can cut that through Okay, and then obviously if you have any marks on your paper, then you can rub those out. Now it comes to the black inlay. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to do a black inlay, but I might. Should I? Because what I've decided to do this time is use my green. So if I put that on there, do I prefer it with the black inlay? Looking at my previous card, I actually prefer it without the black inlay. And then I have a much bigger, but then I do want some sort of inlay. Maybe red. That would be nice. Maybe I should do a red inlay. Okay, so if I'm going to do a red inlay, I have got some here that are cut to 5x7. Now I need to make sure that this is on here. Maybe I should glue them on and then cut them, because that would be easier for everyone to understand. You can measure them, you can definitely do that. Just add whatever measurements I gave you earlier, and then add 1/8 of an inch or whatever, you know, extra you want to add it. It's entirely up to you whether you measure things or measure things. Oh my gosh, Gareth. Or use your eyeballing. But like I said, you could simply add 1/8 of an inch to the measurements I gave you earlier. But I'm going to stick it down, and then I'm going to cut it. So looking at my cutting machine here, I can gauge that that's about how much I want. So that's that. And then go to the top portion. We can glue that down. We can put that in our trimmers, and we can trim that to size as well. Okay, so card base, insert, first inlay, which is the same size as my card base. We have our top portion. Now you could definitely mount this on foam tape if you wanted to. See what I mean, where they continue on? I think that's much nicer. Okay, our bottom portion. And I still don't have the amount of space I wanted, because I never ever do the measurements correctly. Grrr! Oh, it's so annoying. I should have still left more. But I don't think that sentiment's going to fit in there. No, and I don't want to just there, but I want some green. And I want some white, I think. And then I need a white. What I've been doing, crafters, is I've been punching out a lot of things I use regularly, and then keep them in these little press stud envelope bags. Okay, so this I think I am going to pop up. One thing, when I write my blog post, crafters, I will write down the measurements so there's a larger space in between. But I'm sure you don't want to sit there and watch me until I get it 100% perfect. I just think it's very important to do these type of videos, because sometimes things don't always work out. But don't stress about it. Make it work for you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make this work for me. Now, do I have enough room on there for that sentiment? No. So let's have a look at the other sentiments that are in these stamp sets. Oh, this one here. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. A touch of sugar and a pinch of spice and a bit of love make the holidays nice. What a lovely sentiment. So I'm going to take that one out. and we are going to use that. And I'm going to stamp that in the black. And I should have used my VersaFine Black Onyx because it's the best for sentiments, I think. But that's not too bad at all. So there we go, crafters. 2 cards with boo-boos. I'm going to put that on the inside. And you can put on here Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, thank you for the sweet treats, anything your heart desires. So there's two cards, and yes, I know I didn't get them the way I wanted them to look, but actually I do prefer this one. I actually like that across there without the gap in the middle. I will continue to do a card after I stop this video with the right gap in the middle, and I will have pictures in the blog post, and also the measurements, so you can get the gap in the middle.
Yay, crafters! I got there.
See, that's what I had envisioned, and these are the 2 cards it's taken me to get there. So I didn't look at any videos on YouTube. I just had this idea. I wanted to do this split card. Yes, I didn't do it correctly the first 2 attempts, but we got there. So I will have the correct measurements linked in the blog post that goes with this over at mememadeit.com. Thank you again for joining me today, and you'll see me again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye. Hello crafters, welcome to Create at Home with G, and my latest